Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Jaden, aka Halftime Hoopin'. We back, we live, we litty. And today for y'all, I got some NBA news to break down. A lot of stuff happened today. First thing when I woke up, I just saw this news, and then every hour just kept coming and coming and coming. So I figured I'd give my thoughts, give my opinion on some of the stuff that happened today. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever y'all gotta do. Without further ado, let's get into the first topic. Okay, so starting off with the thing that I saw first this morning, Chris Paul tested positive for COVID-19, and will obviously have to be within the health and safety protocols for an extended period of time. This really is a blow to the Suns and to Chris Paul, honestly. If it was like Chris Paul, whenever he has something good happening to him, something just comes down and just comes to tear him down, and it sucks. Against the Rockets, up 3-2 against the Warriors, so they're about to advance to the finals for his first time in his career. Hamstring injury, he misses. They lose to the Rockets. Back when he was with the Clippers and facing against the Spurs, Game 7 carries them to a win, but torn hamstring, and they don't get a chance to do anything really in the playoffs after he gets eliminated. Everything seems to, I guess Chris Paul gets, if I'm being honest, he just has some pretty terrible luck, but I guess prayers up for Chris Paul. Hope he comes back still healthy. I know people react to the virus differently, but I hope he's able to come back and to be able to hoop at a elite level, because the Suns, they're not no slack of a team or anything, but they're definitely going to need Chris Paul. He's their floor general. He makes the team run. But now, I don't want anyone else to sleep on Devin Booker or the rest of the Suns players. It seems like the media is trying to place Chris Paul like he's like dragging a bunch of scrubs that don't know what's going on in the league. He is their leader. He is their floor general, but he has some very good teammates. Devin Booker, he does, 25 plus point per game scorer. He's a bucket. He's a good passer too. You got Jay Crowder, solid 3-and-D. Mikal Bridges, a great 3-and-D. DeAndre, big body, who's gonna go get them rebounds. He's actually he's improved on defense this year. Decent defender now. What else do they have? Cameron Payne, I remember before, he used to be a scrub. They used to call him, nickname used to be the Tank Commander, and now he's a serviceable backup point guard. The Suns roster is very well constructed. So if Chris Paul has to miss the winner of the Jazz vs. Clippers series, I still think the Suns could potentially win and put up a fight, just because they have a solid enough roster around them. And on to the next topic, which kind of caught me by surprise a little bit. The Clippers fear that Kawhi has suffered an ACL injury, and of course with that suspicion, he'll be out indefinitely. This is a big blow to the Clippers, and quite frankly, I'm just going to be blank and straightforward with it. I don't see them winning the series against the Jazz without him. He is a guaranteed 20 to 30 points per game, and in the playoffs, he can get you good to great defense. And I know they have Paul George, who's been hooping this entire playoffs. I know people like to make fun of him, but he's actually been hooping this playoff run. Reggie Jackson's somehow been turning it up. Luke Kennard's been hitting shots. Marcus Morris has been here or there, but he's been solid for the most part. And then, this is a big blow to the Clippers, since they're also missing Ibaka, who's not coming back. So, I don't know how their defense will fare without these two people. But Kawhi, a robot, I hope he gets back healthy. But this is a big blow to the Clippers. And once again, I don't see them getting out of this Jazz series. But hey, maybe Paul George turns back into MVPG and, carries this Jazz team, or not carries this Jazz team, carries this Clippers team to a series win against the Clippers, but I feel would shut the haters up a lot. But yeah, prayers up for Kawhi. For the next topic, the Mavericks and Donnie Nelson have agreed to loosely part ways, which to me means he got fired. But yeah, it kind of this move makes sense to Luka. I'm gonna assume these reports were true about Luka, putting pressure in front offense to get better pieces around him. But yeah, it seems like the roster construction that has been around Luka is not, in hindsight, it hasn't panned out good. I know the majority of people, including me, thought, Luka and Porzingis, that sounds like a dominant force to be reckoned with. But Porzingis hasn't turned out well. The jokes about he's a 7'3" shooting guard, which honestly It's not even a joke. It's true. He has 10% shooting. That's besides the point. Even outside of Porzingis, this roster isn't meant for a championship. And Luka feels he's ready to win one of those now, which is why he'll put pressure on the front office now. When you look at guys like Tim Hardaway Jr., he's actually been solid and good, but he's streaky, and I think he's a free agent. So if he's demanding too much money, they'll probably lose him. And then guys like Josh Richardson, who I think, correct me if I'm wrong, his deal might be up too. And then you got Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith. Jalen Brunson is a good bench point guard to have. But yeah, this roster is not, I'm just to be honest, it's not good enough for what Luka wants to accomplish. So I understand why they may feel that, oh, well, if our star doesn't feel this roster, or we're doing a good enough job to, construct a good team around him, maybe we'll have to look up to our GM, and just have, well, hey, it's either you or Luka, and 99 times out of 100, they're going to pick Luka. He's a generational talent. So naturally, they would want to find the GM that would be able to put the right pieces around him. And for our next topic, I think there might be two more after this one, but Stan Van Gundy and the Pelicans have departed ways. Sorry, I can't read right now. They have departed after one season as his tenure as the Pelicans coach. I saw this coming, honestly. Stan Van Gundy, I just feel like he doesn't fit what the Pelicans need to be doing. Running Alonzo, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion, Steven Adams lineup is not good for spacing. Lonzo has turned himself into a good shooter, not even decent, good shooter. Brandon Ingram's a respectable 3-point shooter, but outside of that, Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams and Zion, they don't have reliable jump shots. So that's why the paint would always be crowded, because whoever is guarding Eric Bledsoe is standing right next to Zion, because they know that he's not a threat for anything. So that's not only on just Stan Van Gundy though. It's also part on the general manager. But he used to GM the Cavs. I'll think of his name some other time. But yeah, it's a part of roster, but also his coaching. The Pelicans used to be one of the fastest paced teams in the league, running up and down the court. Lonzo, distributing the ball. He's a great full court passer, or a good passer in the full court offense, I should say. But yeah, and then this year they run a lot slower, and which kind of slows down and messes up the offense in a way. And you would think this team would be a good defensive team, but they are below average, and that also has to be looked back onto the coach, who he can't even get good defenders around him to buy into the system he's trying to enforce. But yeah, this is a good move for the Pelicans. I don't know who they'll look towards. Probably the usual suspect like Jason Kidd or Becky Hammond and stuff like that. I think she might actually be good for this position. But yeah, preferably they should go after a younger coach. I would think would do them better than some of these older guys. But yeah. All right, for our second to last topic now, Washington and Coach Scott Brooks couldn't come to agreement on a new deal. Therefore, they are agreeing to part ways with each other. I think this is a smart move by the Wizards. This team had a cap on its ceiling with Scott Brooks as a coach. He's not necessarily a terrible coach, but I wouldn't call him a good one either. He's just an average to below average coach, if I'm being honest. Their defense this year was abysmal and terrible, and I know their roster isn't the greatest, but you have to, even when your roster isn't necessarily good, players can still be able to buy into defense. I remember back, I think it was earlier in the season, the Rockets put up 150 up on them, and that's just stuff that should be unacceptable for an NBA team. Even in this high scoring era, that should be completely unacceptable to happen. And his offenses are very stagnant and stale at times. It'll just be Bradley Beal just dribbling the ball out for 20 seconds. He has to take a step back, contested shot in the corner, and Bradley Beal's good enough to make those, but you shouldn't have to rely on those shots to, be able to go in all the time. But yeah, I feel like Scott Brooks' time had honestly been run out in Washington for a little bit now. I feel like he should have been he should have been let go a couple years ago. Because I feel like even then again, back then, the team was already sitting with John Wall and Bradley Beal, and you swap Wall with Westbrook, which is kind of the same dynamic that they have with each other. But Westbrook's better, but it's kind of the same thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like this was a good move for Washington to depart ways with him. Like with the Pelicans thing, I don't know who they'll look at for as a coach, but I'm sure they'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, this was a good decision once again. All right, and for our last topic, but certainly not least, as you see Emil LeVar, a Photoshop of LeVar celebrating on Bleacher Report, shout out to Bleacher Report. But yeah, LaMelo Ball has officially won Rookie of the Year over his competitors, which were, I think it was Anthony Edwards second and then Tyrese Halliburton third. But this was a very deserving win for LaMelo. Even though Anthony Edwards did have a great second half of the season, don't get me wrong, I still think LaMelo deserves the Rookie of the Year. I don't like when for Rookie of the Year, I feel like games played shouldn't really matter. Like I think LaMelo hit 51 games, Anthony Edwards played 71. I feel like that those kind of awards only matter for like MVP and stuff like that. Like personally, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago when Malcolm Brogdon won it, and then Embiid didn't win it because he didn't play 31 games. I still feel like Embiid should have won it for those, despite him not playing a lot, because even in those 31 games, he was the best rookie for those 31 games. And I feel LaMelo was the best rookie for the only 51 games he played. But yeah, I also don't like when someone, I don't like how people say someone was robbed for an award, because if LaMelo wasn't deserving of the award, he wouldn't have been nominated in the first place. So you can't get robbed by someone who was also in competition and deserves to be in the conversation. So yeah, shout out to Anthony Edwards though. He did have a very good season, and I'm looking forward to him hooping with the Timberwolves next year. He's a funny guy. He's a rapper. He be doing stuff. He low key, I can see him as a kind of the face of the league. But for now, LaMelo, shout out to you, Rookie of the Year. Alright, and that's going to do it for the video today, guys. This was a lot of news to go over, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want me to do other videos like this for NBA news and stuff like that, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. But that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace!